Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam, and on this channel we talk about personal finance, investing, budgeting, and just how to save money. And today we're going to be talking about Dave Ramsay's baby steps. So if you don't know, Dave Ramsay is a radio personality. He talks to just people all over America giving money advice, and he's written a book called Total Money Makeover, and it's a bestseller. And in the book, he talks about 7 baby steps to financial freedom. So baby step number 1, I'm just going to tell you what the baby steps are. The first one is, baby step number 1 is to save $1,000. And for number 2 is to pay off all your debt except for your house using the debt snowball method. Number 3 is to save 3 to 6 months emergency fund for all your expenses. Number 4 is to invest 15% of your income into your retirement. Number 5 is to save for your children's college fund. Number 6 is to pay off your home early. And number 7 is to build wealth and give. So what do I think about Dave Ramsay? I think he's doing a great thing. He's helping Americans save money, getting out of debt, and becoming millionaires, building wealth. But at the same time, I believe that he only targets a certain part of his audience. And that part is the people who have trouble with money. Now, why do I say that? I think he's doing a great thing. He's helping Americans, again, getting out of debt. And he's doing it in a way that works for them. And in the end, it'll work. Now, is it the best? Of course not. But does it work? Sure. Will I follow it? Of course not. But should you? Well, that depends. If you feel that you're good with money, don't follow his advice. If you have trouble with money and you're in debt and feel like you're paycheck to paycheck, then I would suggest you read his book and follow his baby steps. So if I were to follow Dave Ramsay's baby steps, I wouldn't even pass baby step number 1. And that's because I don't even have $1,000 in my bank account. And that's because once I get my paycheck, I throw it completely into my debt. And also, assuming if I've had paid off all my debt, the next step would be to save 3 to 6 months emergency fund. I don't think I would do that myself. Now, I have a line of credit and also a HELOC. My line of credit room is $10,000. My HELOC room is about $20,000. And that's $30,000 worth of room for me to tap into, and it's revolving credit, meaning that it's sort of like a credit card. You can kind of tap into it whenever you need it. So that means I would rather not keep $30,000 on hand and I would rather invest that money or even throw that into the home. So again, I don't want to keep an emergency fund. The emergency fund that I'm comfortable with is having my line of credit unused. Now, there are 5 things I strongly disagree with Dave Ramsay. Number 1 is that Dave Ramsay is very much against credit cards and very much for using cash only. And for myself, I love credit cards. I use it as a vehicle of payment, meaning that I will use my credit card, and when the bill comes, I will pay it in full. I'll never carry a balance, and so I don't have to pay that interest. Now, of course, credit card interest is very high. It's roughly about 20%. But the great thing about a credit card is that you don't need the money today. You just need to pay for it maybe about a month later. And on top of that, there are points or maybe some cash back when you use your credit card. So you get a little bit of bonus for using your credit card as well. So two things that's good about a credit card. Number 1, you get points, and number 2, you can pay it off a little bit later. So the second thing I disagree about Dave Ramsay is that he discourages being house poor. Now, I am the true definition of being house poor. We bought pretty much the most expensive house we could afford. We pretty much maxed out our whole mortgage. And at the same time, we don't regret it. Is the mortgage payment high? Yes. And sometimes it's tough to save. But at the same time, we love the house, we love the location, we love the space, and love the neighborhood. So all in all, I feel that this is a great place to live, great area, great city, and the home value has already gone up a little bit. So all in all, we're very happy about that. And for choosing a house, there's many factors involved. Of course, there's work, there's friends, there's location, there's your parents, the culture. So again, it's not just the price, but all these other factors that are involved as well. One of the things that Dave Ramsay is really famous for saying is that if the house is too expensive, then move, then live somewhere else, live somewhere less expensive. You don't have to live in New York. You don't have to live in LA. But at the same time, I'm in Toronto. It's an expensive city. And right now I am house poor. But at the same time, I don't regret it. We love the house we're in. And if we had to do it again, we would do exactly the same thing. So the third thing I strongly disagree with Dave Ramsay is that after investing 15% of your income for retirement, he encourages you to throw everything else into the house and pay down the house as early as possible. And he did an interview with over 10,000 millionaires, and one of the common denominators is that they paid down their house early. Well, you see, the math doesn't work out on this one. Now, the mortgage rate that we got in this house was a 2.69% 5-year fix, and we got this rate in November 2019. So if I had some extra money lying around, would I rather save 2.69%, or would I rather invest it into the stock market, potentially making, if I just put it in the S&P 500, averaging 7%, I'd rather make 7% versus saving 2.69%. So all in all, I'd rather put my money in the market. You know, there is a little bit of risk, but at the same time, the S&P averages 7% with dividends reinvested. And I'd rather do that than to save your 2.69%. I do know that there are some intangibles with having your house paid down early. And some of it is your peace of mind. Some of it is that no more paying interest, no more paying mortgage payments. But at the same time, if you see your stock market portfolio grow year over year, 7% on average, then that's also something that you're losing out on if you were to pay down your house. So just full disclosure, we have a 30-year mortgage, and we don't plan on paying it down early. And the fourth thing I disagree with Dave Ramsay is that in baby step number 2, when paying down the debt, he encourages you to use what's called the snowball method. And the snowball method is to pay down your smallest debt, and then once that's done, pay your next biggest debt, and then you're bigger and you're bigger. Now, mathematically, this doesn't make sense, because what you should be doing is what's called the avalanche method, where you pay down your largest interest and then going down to paying your lowest interest last. So usually your largest interest would be your payday loans, and then it would be your credit card loans, then it would be any cash advances or line of credit, and after that, at the very bottom would be probably your student debt loans. But if you follow Dave Ramsay's rule, then you would have to pay the smallest amount first, and maybe that might be your student debt. You might be paying that one down first, and then you might be paying your credit card last. And again, you're racking up a lot of interest in that sense. So the fifth thing that I disagree about Dave Ramsay is that he encourages what's called good mutual funds. And this is very minor, because at the very least, you're investing your money. But mutual funds nowadays is pretty old-fashioned. There's what's called exchange-traded funds, ETFs. There's robo-trading. There's many different types of investment vehicles that you can get yourself into. At the same time, you can easily open up an investing account. There's many out there that you don't have to pay any trading fees, such as Robinhood or TD Ameritrade. So really easy to just kind of open one up, put some money in, and put your money into maybe an ETF like SPY. And this one is an exchange traded fund that kind of follows the S&P 500. And on average, it would give you a return of 7 to 8% with dividend reinvested. And with the fees, it's much lower than a standard mutual fund. So that's pretty much it. Just want to wrap it up. I myself don't follow Dave Ramsay. I think he's pretty old-fashioned. I think that he lived in an era where mortgage rates were high. He definitely lived through the dot-com bubble, the '08 financial crisis, so he's definitely a lot more conservative. And at the end of the day, I'm not his target market. His target market are those people who are having trouble with debt and money. So if you found this video enjoyable, please subscribe for more videos and please like this video down below. Let me know what you do with your money down below in the comment section. And with that said, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.